All right, everyone. Welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Wednesday, December 6, 2017. And this video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new, check out the link down below. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so today we got Mercury Retrograde back over Saturn. Maybe time to revisit some things from last week. Maybe in regards to some things that you've been taking seriously or thinking about seriously. The moon is going to be in Cancer here today, so there could be a bit of wanting to connect to our emotions, maybe the past, our reflective energy, our inner guidance. And yeah, with this conjunction with Mercury and Saturn, there is a sextile up to Mars. So with this whole reconsideration, there could be this really direct energy here today of wanting to implement some things, maybe just feeling a bit motivated or empowered with that whole whatever it is we're reconsidering at this time. All right, so let's look at that along with a few of the other things here in more detail when we return. All right, so let's start with the moon. Moon shifting into Cancer here today. Will be a very good day for connecting to our feelings. Cancer is essentially that, as they say, gateway to the soul, right? So there is this maybe greater connection to our soul, the past, our roots, really getting into this reflective energy. And it can be good for these types of things today because we're wanting it, because we're wanting that sort of connection. And the moon is very comfortable here too. So, you know, this type of stuff can come easy in the sense that if we are connected to our feelings, just naturally letting a bit of this reflective energy come in, this natural wanting of security, caring, nurturing, those types of emotional qualities. All right, so so of course the sun is still in Scorpio, but we'll be shifting into Ophiuchus here as we get into the later part of the week. So still very deep time, and I think there will be the shift as we get into the second half of the week regarding healing, more so, especially with Mercury retrograde going back into Ophiuchus. It's like there's some things to rehash, some things to redo regarding our individual healing here in December. So so we could be starting to feel that today, but nonetheless, still great to be focused on the deeper things and uncovering, you know, shining that light to uncover the things that maybe are normally hidden to us that we can become aware of at this time. All right, so let's talk about this Mercury Saturn, because they are going to go exact with that conjunction here today. This was an aspect that happened roughly about this time last week. I believe it was Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday time. And so now with Mercury retrograde, it's time to come back and rehash some of this stuff. So asking yourself what you've been taking seriously maybe this past week, maybe thinking more seriously about. You can watch your weekly horoscope to see which house this is pertaining to for you. But really good now to re-examine this stuff, redo some stuff. We're going to have this collective, very productive energy. You know, Mercury, our minds, Saturn, productivity. Our minds can be very disciplined, all right, very productive, very grounded. And so it does make it really good for things that do require this, but it may not be especially or particularly pertaining to work or, you know, productive things in your life. It might be about relationships or home stuff or something like that. So do ask yourself what you've been taking seriously or thinking about more seriously, and how can you sort of revisit this so that you're building some long-term foundations here. So, you know, Saturn is all about the long term. It's all about taking that big picture perspective, and how can you start to maybe implement some of the stuff for your future self, right? For your long-term goals, and take it nice and slow, nice and steady. And I think we'll be learning a lot about this stuff here today. And again, it could even be pertaining to healing, because Saturn has just finished up Ophiuchus and will not be going back into Ophiuchus. So in many ways, we've been doing the work with healing. You could say the past year or even 2 years with Saturn. So there is this, you know, final culmination in many ways as Saturn now makes his way into Sagittarius going into the new year, about us starting to build things more based on possibilities and expanding our horizons and our philosophies, you know. But with Mercury retrograde in December, it's almost like there's something we forgot. We got to go back to the house. We left something behind regarding healing. We got to go back and rehash. So we could feel a bit of that with this conjunction being so close to Ophiuchus and so close to that galactic center there. All right, so that's the conjunction, but that conjunction is sextiling Mars, which is very nice. So Mars is very much supporting this. And so, you know, with this sort of serious mind or rehashing, there is this empowering feeling about it. And there's just an opening for it. You know, sextiles, again, they're kind of like doors opening. We can choose or choose not to walk through them. But there is a door opening in the sense of where we can take some action here today, where we can motivate ourselves, or maybe we're feeling motivated, but it's just about taking that initial step or doing that initial thing or asserting ourselves, right? So taking that proactive approach, whether it's in your life in general or a specific experience, I think can be very good today, very supportive to all this. And I think a great context to have with Mars is that of personal growth. You know, Mars is still transiting Virgo. It's been here for about the past month and a half, maybe even 2 months at this point. So there's a lot of this energy that can be invoked when we're focused on improving things, improving ourselves most fundamentally with Virgo, right? Striving towards perfection, but not reaching perfection, just striving towards that. So putting energy into this type of stuff, whether it's your diet, routine, self-improvement stuff, I think is just excellent at this time, and that can help maybe unlock some of that Mars energy. All right, so that's the most important thing, and it is an important thing for the week. We also do have the moon squaring up to Mars and Uranus, who have been in a bit of an opposition. That was more so last weekend, but there could be maybe feelings of needing to integrate this whole Cancerian stuff with all this. You know, again, what we just discussed is very different from this Cancer energy. All right, very different from Cancer. So our feelings are, again, wanting that caring, nurturing, privacy, protective energy. And so if there's anything we can do to bring in those feelings into whatever it is we're putting action towards, or into our routine, or into whatever this day-to-day stuff is, integrating it, I think is a great way of working with it, because it can feel a little bit, you know, clash, a little bit different there. And with Uranus, again, it is about being present, right? So that could be helpful too. Anything you can do to let go of what's outside of your control, be more present, can also be very freeing, especially if you do feel any erratic energy, because sometimes moon squaring Uranus, and Mars for that matter, actually can create a bit of wanting to break free, erratic energy, maybe a bit of blockage. It's a challenge to integrate, in this case, our emotional being with what our maybe conscious self or higher self is wanting to implement today. So just remembering presence, and I think most fundamentally the key with this is just remembering to connect to our feelings, our inner guidance, and that caring and nurturing energy too, for ourselves, for relationships, those types of things. All right, so have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast.